teams itself, but it's the time where we head in the very first game of this qualifiers, and there we have it. The flight path completely dissecting military base into two equal halves, and we can just see the calmness before the storm as we head into the very first map from military base to Stolberg. The flight takes its route. That means areas like Georgopol, Hospital, Zarki, shooting range, certain teams will be having a very tough affair if they are looking to jump towards the same area.
Absolutely, and right here, as we can clearly see, right off the bat on the military base itself, it seems like 2 to 3 teams are going to be calling the military base their home, and it seems like Seal 9 has had a fanned out approach right here, as they are definitely going to be looking pretty comfortable. And on the screen as well, as we move on along towards the northern side of the map, we do have these teams slowly but surely themselves acclimated towards their own known drop locations, but that drop contestation is what I'm waiting for. We do want to see some early fights as well. The first blood, who's going to be bringing in that first blood? Who's going to be given that opportunity? If at all, any team will be allowed to do so. On the other front, as we talk about TRC, again, I mean, needs no introduction. A team that has been very well fanned out in terms of their approach in every single game. And talk about that zone, dude.
Wow.
The zone is going to be pushing the teams to come on down to the military base. Have some fun. Have some gala time, because that is not going to last for long. And maybe, just maybe, the first map right here itself could bring us down to the zone, taking it all the way down towards those bridges. I love to be a part of.
This is the South Asian Gala. This is going to be crazy affair. You just look at the circle, man. Completely downtown going towards the area of military base, and nobody can just stretch this circle onto the main island. This has to be 100% military base, or maybe Novorupnaya. That's just the southern island finish. Is this at the very first point? They can have some real good shy. We have Savage Esports in Yasnaya Polyana, one team that comes out of Mongolia. We have certain big teams. If we talk about Mongolia, certain teams reminds me of that area. You remember Zeus Esports, how they used to dominate the lobby. We don't actually know if Savage Esports are going to replicate the same.
Well, we shall have to see. We shall have to see. And talk about early contestations, it seems right now, because it is going to be Gunner from the side of Janmara who's going to be pushing on to try and get that point confirmed for himself. And as far as his teammates are concerned, I don't see his teammates, but he definitely has a really good pull into this fight, and it is going to be a first blood situation where Ego definitely is not going to be well equipped for this fight, and eventually he will be brought down to his knees. And it is going to be Gunner who seems to be getting that first blood in the game right off the bat in the first 3 minutes itself. It is going to be Janmara Gunner taking that first blood, taking that first point, but now G1 from Paradox is going to be trying to push on along, and it is going to, the health that is not going to be favoring Gunner, because Gunner is down to 40% health, but G1 has taken that revenge right off the bat, and it is going to be a GG approach being showcased from Paradox as well as Janmara right here.
No, definitely. The event trades brought down one finish, even one finish onto already his name. 2 casualties just out of the lobby, and we started things off with 64 players, but collision to happen, but didn't really expect on the rocks of prison it will actually not, but that is what it is at the end of the day. 1 kill each, and this time Paradox is moving a different team altogether, isn't it?
That is true. That is definitely true. I mean, even though Ego did not have a fun time as they jumped on down towards the prison area, but Janmara's approach also was because he was that aggressive stance, and that is something that we discussed earlier as well, right? From the side of Janmara, the team is known to be an aggressive stance playing team, and that is exactly what they showcased. On the other front, as we move on down towards the military base, it is going to be Seal 9. Bringing down the players, bringing in those points for his team, but till now, the finish has not been confirmed. The elimination has not been confirmed, but Ducky's information, or rather his position, has certainly been given away. So he's probably going to be backing out of this fight, but let's see what his teammates are going to be doing, because he does have his teammates, if you look to the mini-map, onto the right-hand side as well. So that flank angle can very well help out the side of S9 right here in this fight.
This is definitely a very good approach from Seal9 Esports. Just on the clock, Seal9 Esports got along on moment. They also had one fight in the areas of prison. It's not only so Nepali teams on the ball, Saran, I mean, we have seen the sort of aggression that we have just talked about. They are coming up into the fight, but not rightly on the right side of the kill feed. And there we have it, Paradox getting one more on the name, and G1 adding the second to his name. A very optimistic start, Paradox, that we were looking for, that we were also talking about. And I guess they will be at the end of 15 matches in the top 8.
Well, it definitely could be the case, but again, we should have to see if this sort of play being showcased from the side of Paradox is going to be retaliated from any other team or not. And right here we do have Elementrix, who a couple of minutes ago were in the corners of S9, but now they seems to have gotten away from that position, and definitely to have all 4 players alive. But for how long is going to be the conversation against the side of Elementrix? Right here we do have Liquid down to almost moving away from that position on the pitch and trying to get back to his teammates, and that is where they're able to recuperate and get all 4 players set up with 100% health. But right now, being in the water, being out in the open, is going to be tough luck situation for the side of Sus. But let's see if any other teammates, or rather any other team on top of that bridge itself, down on the other side. As we just talked about his teammates, we do have who is now getting his loot set up. It's only 6.5 minutes in, but definitely we can see a lot of aggressive gameplay being showcased from these teams.
Oh, definitely. It's just Nepali teams all around. Be it been on the kill feed with the rotation, it has all been Nepali teams in the very first 6 minutes. And look at this, the way Kings of BD are just trying to move. We have Gremlin Storm's player pretty much in the same vicinity. I see Kapshi out there just trying to scout out the areas, and Seal 9 is not going to allow any team, because earlier it was Elementrix that tried to cross the bridge, and now it is gonna be, I guess, the Sri Lankan team NRC Esports, close to where military base is actually, bridge is actually present. So all these teams are on the southern side, but if we talk about the gangsters, they are pretty much very far away, pretty much 3 kilometers away to where the teams are actually fighting their senses out. But as we just mentioned, all these teams, we have TRS gaming out of nowhere in the scenes.
Well, they are setting themselves on to the bridge camp position. Perfectly set up stands going to be showcased from the side of the Real Soldiers players right here, and Rules is definitely going to be just, well, going to be free flowing across from on this bridge from one beam to the next, and that is definitely going to be helping his cause, because his teammates are also right around the corner, giving him that flank angle, and very close towards that bridge is going to be this gas station, as we can see from the top view. And in that is going to be Dante from the side of Kings of BD with a UMP. Now talk about this gun, dude. This has been a killer gun, the UMP, along with of course the Mini 14 that we can see on Dante for now.
Definitely, but what Rules has just done, the parkour action, that needs a lot of practice. But Rules, having that angle is actually helping them a lot of information, and the amount of vicinity, the amount of landscape he can actually gather is just so mammoth. He's on the top of this, whatever you call this, a fray. The frame of the bridge, he's on the top of it, and he can actually see kilometers away from it. Any team, any player who is trying to aggress toward this area, you be better prepared.
Right here, Kings of BD's Dante is definitely being given a lot of leeway right here, because Rules, he does know exactly where that player is, but he's not given away his position with the Mini, and that is something that definitely will help his cause. But we shall see for how long is he going to try and stay silent and quiet, because Kings of BD's Dante is on the move, he's on the run, and it seems like he will be allowed to get away with no problem at all. So he's going to back out of that position that he had in the gas station, and is going to go back to his teammates. There indeed, Dictator and Vexy and of course Mefuz YT are just waiting waiting across this compound, and here we go. So yeah, the players of DRS have definitely allowed the lad or Dante to move away from that position. On the other front now, Killer Whitey is going to be taking an approach into that gas station. So a very interesting fanned out approach that we can see from the side of the Real Soldiers, and they have a lot of information, but we will have to see if at all there'll be any other team that can stop them and bring them down to their knees, as they do have the bridge camp for now, but for how long is the question that needs to be raised.
Definitely. I guess Kings of VD just sense the threat, and as soon as they realize it, they completely just fallen themselves back away, and this is a very good approach on their side. But it's Kings of VD who knows, but as we just talked about it, it's Gangsters. One Gangster is already down. Nightwing takes him down. Oh no, not looking good. He will be finished, as for sure, as now Venom Legends are just hunting the players down in the very first half of the game.
Oh, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy right now with this sort of performance coming in from the side of Venom Legends. This is the team that at one point in time I definitely kept on a high stance in my book, but over the games, over the tournaments, I've seen them lackluster a little bit, fall down a little bit, but it seems like this time around into the PMPL qualifiers, they are coming in with a bang, and they're definitely showcasing that prowess. On the other side, talk about DG and their approach. Well, Gangster was definitely brought down, and of course we do have blah 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 on the other side as well in the team. So it is a very good team, no question about it. The roster is definitely going to be working for them, but as of now in the first game they have been brought down to a 3-man squad. With that, the first airdrop has been dropped on along in the 11-10 minute marker with the MK14.
Not definitely, and we can see the urge with which the team are just trying to move down from the other side, but I guess I just spoke too soon. The circle with watch that has already been shipped. I guess half of the base is out of the circle, isn't it, Bloda?
That is true, but dude, you know what? I did talk about this, right? I love the circles when you have the bridge in the center.
Imagine if the circle goes to the north, completely on the main island.
It is possible. A shift is definitely something that will take place, but if we talk about the center of the circle, if we talk about the center of the zone, that has been taken over by 7. See, now that is a very good strategic approach that they've been able to accumulate for themselves, being at the coastlines, and of course those rocks over there are going to be providing them that cover fire. Along with that, we can see that they've got vehicles as well, so that will definitely be a big reason for 7C's positioning to be able to help out for themselves. And we did see Fear is setting himself up in a compound, right. So amazing positioning from their side. But of course, as you did talk about it, we shall have to see where the zone is going to be pushing on along, and where the zone pushes, that is where the fights are going to be taking place.
No, definitely. Gangsters, Gangsters with one gangster down. This is 3 men alive. Let's just see what sort of gameplay they have offered to us. But one more promising team, X-Brother, and if we just have a quick look at the circle, at the dead smack center, it's Fear just scouting out the area from the front lines, and the rest of the players just checking if anyone is on the side. But I guess the circle has something else to offer. Now 7C is a big challenge for them, and not only 7C is a lot of team. If we talk about TRZ is completely away from this position, Gremlin Storm have a real good shy of this game. And also with that being said, look at the positioning, look at the split with which C9 are there at the position. But as soon as we just spoke, I guess 7Cs, they were ready with their boats. And no, it's not the boat, it's just the vehicle that they're jumping with which into the water. And as soon as they are into the water, they have to leave that out, because the vehicles will not float on the border.
Dude, I am loving this. I mean, I called for the PUBG gods to bring in a zone like this, and that is exactly what they have delivered in the first game itself, bringing it down towards that bridge camp sort of situation that DRS had going for themselves. It definitely is going to be working for them, but it seems like the kill is definitely not going to be confirmed. He did get the few damaging shots onto the player, but Rebel with the Scarrel is trying his little best, but of course that distance is a bit too far away, and the player is going to be able to walk out of that position now again. That means that DRS have given away that information, and of course the zone is also not going to be favoring them, so they're going to be moving away from that. Even though they had a perfect bridge, it is just not going to be working. On the other front, it's brothers, as we can see in the kill feed, TRGR, a team that I was talking about from Nepal, has been brought down to their knees as 2 men remain and 2 have already been punished quite badly. So now the conversation is going to be for the side of this team. Will they be able to get the revive on their teammates? Because X Brothers is definitely on top of it, and this is where a third party can definitely be predicted as well.
Oh yes, no two is doubt about that. I don't really know how much profitable it is for 2RGR to indulge themselves in such sort of circle shift, but I really want observers to have again a quick look at the map as to how many teams have now rotated and made a move into the central lines of the circle. Out of the blues, out of the zone, there are just 2 teams just fighting and battling their metal out, having some ego being pushed out. It's 2RGR, X Brother, both having detrimental amount of damage, but once if we get to just have a glimpse of the minimap, we'll have a clear picture of what and where the team stands for, because for the moment a lot of teams are actually making a traversing situation for themselves, and it seems like Gremlin Storm, the team that I really had a very quick and a keen eye set up onto them, for the moment they are just being banged for different directions. It's Evileye just bleeding off, Badriv has gone down, it's just up to Kapshi and Rafat.
Absolutely, and again now I do want to take the viewers' attention towards 7C's positioning, right? We did see them on towards the northern side of the map right now.
They were
of the
just
zone,
ready.
But now, exactly, but now
They
they've
were
re-collaborated themselves and they are going to find themselves onto the military base once again in the center of the zone. So that is definitely going to be working for them. On the other front, as we talk about that, the exact same positions that we see 7C at, now it is going to be NRC's players who are going to be taking down TRZ one by one. But both these teams now have to get into the water and go all the way out towards the military zone itself, and that is where things are going to get trickier, because there are so many teams, as we see on the minimap as well, who are stuck onto the northern island, and they are going to have to get into the water. There is no way at all that the teams on the military base are going to allow that to happen easily, that is.
And definitely, and before that happens, there are already 3 teams pretty much close to where the shorelines are. It's TRZ, we have NRC, and also 1 team in the backlines. So it is going to be 3-sided affair, and in between TRZ having completely sandwiched from one side from NRC and from different directions. Not looking good for them as the moment. It's also Venom Legend. He also needs to make a move, but Rare FPS, he didn't have any other option there to just let his vehicle light water, and then they just wait. But as soon as they try to make a move into the circle, it's already 7Cs on the other side